The Collegian News is brought to you in part by Campus Recreation and Intramural Sports.
University Inn and Suites. Live here, save money.
Stay connected with UTB Mobile. Download the UTB application now. Visit utb.edu/mobile.
Hi, welcome to our last edition of the Collegian News. I'm Melissa Ramirez.
And I'm Marlene Rodriguez.
If a commercial rocket launch company comes to Brownsville, the city will welcome it. Samantha Reese gives us more on this story.
City commissioners have pledged their cooperation with a company that is considering establishing a commercial rocket launch site in Brownsville. Brownsville is just one of 3 cities that Space Exploration Technologies, Inc., a California-based company, is considering for building a commercial launch pad to send its Falcon 9 rockets and Dragon spacecraft into space. The proposed site is off Boca Chica Beach on Texas State Highway 4.
That is before they take one entire lap around the Earth. They'll most easily reach it when they're closer to the equator. So as you can see, you can kind of see now how Brownsville is starting to favor this project. The closer you are to the equator, the faster, the quicker you can get into space. You have to go in an easterly direction. Rocket launches, they need to be built far away from a populated area. They need to be close to a major body of water.
With its Falcon vehicles, SpaceX is able to place satellites and other spacecraft into any inclination and altitude, from low Earth orbit to geosynchronous orbit to planetary missions, according to the company's website. The Dragon is a free-flying, reusable spacecraft being developed by SpaceX under NASA's Commercial Orbital Transportation Services, or COTS, program. Rockets launched from just outside Boca Chica Beach on Texas State Highway 4 would fly over the Gulf of Mexico, avoiding populated areas, Salinas said. The site would open up academic opportunities for the university and economic ones for the city as well.
We're looking at about $80 million in capital investment, 600 direct jobs. We're looking at about $55,000 minimum annual salary. This would put us at more than $50 million in direct annual salary into our region, really into our city. This is money from the heavens. This is money that we did not have. This is money that's going to go a long way for our region, and this is just one company. They will be paying 80% above county average wages, and you would add another 400 indirect and induced jobs. That would put us at about $71 million per year in economic impact here in the Brownsville area.
Unlike most rockets, SpaceX Inc. uses kerosene and liquid oxygen to fuel theirs. The company will conduct a public hearing from 5 to 8 p.m. May 15th in UTB TSC's International Technology, Education and Commerce Center to address residents' concerns. Other spots the company is mulling over are Florida and Puerto Rico. However, a final decision could take from 9 months to several years. For the Collegian News, I'm Samantha Reese.
Texas Southmost College President Lily Tercero has announced that the school will continue to offer all currently active programs in fall 2013.
Joe Molina fills us in.
Those programs include academic transfer courses such as architectural and general studies, plus career and technical courses such as building trades and nursing.
Programs that currently exist will continue to exist because we're bringing forth all the programs at this point in time. What I would like to say is that we are also going to, though, be looking very closely at some of the programs that we may need to restructure. And so there is still some work that we need to do in those areas. But the overall, the 15 academic programs that we have and the 19 career and technical programs overall, we will maintain those.
TSC's Vice President for Instruction and Student Services emphasized that the college's new core curriculum will guarantee students will not lose any hours when transferring to a university.
And that's important for the student for 2 reasons. Because if they finish that core curriculum, regardless of what their major is, that core is going to transfer to the university, guaranteed that they won't lose any hours.
With the University of Texas at Brownsville and Texas Southmost College in the middle of ending their partnership and becoming autonomous institutions, university officials have said that the people who work for TSC in 1992 are guaranteed a position with TSC if they are terminated by UTB. However, they might not be compensated at a university level.
We probably need to look at it from a legal perspective of what that really means.
The challenge that we have when you refer to tech is really the fact that we will have to have salary schedules that are based on community college salaries. And that is also defined in the agreement. And so the challenge there will be that, our salaries at community colleges are lower than salaries for faculty in particular at universities.
The president said a hiring process will begin this summer with personnel in place next spring semester.
But the hiring process will all take place in the spring. We have to have everything taken care of.
In 2013.
2013. Because we'll be ready to go fall 2013.
For the Collegian News, I'm Joe Molina.
In other TSC news, early voting continues through 5:30 p.m. Tuesday in the Board of Trustees election.
Reynaldo Garcia and Tad Hassie are seeking place 6 on the board, and Roberto Uresti and Ramon Champion Hinojosa are vying for place 7. Election day is May 12.
For a list of early voting sites, pick up a copy of today's Collegian on campus.
Spoken word poet Amalia Ortiz came to campus for the Word Poetry Jam, hosted by the Office of Student Life, the English and Modern Languages Departments, and Valley International Poetry Festival.
Collegian editor Rene Cardona had a one-on-one interview with the Latina artist.
Until I was in college. But my home life definitely influenced me, because I would go to school where all the curriculum and everything was in English, and I'd go home where my grandmother only spoke to me in Spanish. And so there definitely was the code switching and bilingualism in my entire life, and you still see that a lot, like even in some of the advertising, like with was it Nissan Dale Gas or whatever. But I didn't know it was okay to write like that until I got to college, and I saw some of the first Latino writers that I read, like Sandra Cisneros, even to this day Dagoberto Gilb. It took, I guess, college to make me realize, wow, I have permission to do the code switching, to use all the tools that are available to me, not only all of my English, but all of what I knew from my home life, from the Spanish that I could speak. But I mean, that's exactly why I'm doing what I'm doing, is because I didn't grow up reading stories like my own. It really is up to this new generation of writers to tell the stories of people who were previously voiceless, to tell your stories in any way possible, by any means necessary, in whatever language or code switching, or I always quote, is it digital underground? I use a word that don't mean nothing, like looped. If it means creating your own words, whatever it takes to express yourself, it's up to the individual to share your stories, because no one else is going to tell your stories. I think the first time I read poetry was probably in Chicago, but I didn't consider myself a poet then. The first time I actively started writing regularly was in San Antonio, when my brother Benjamin Ortiz organized the first poetry slam in San Antonio. He called it Puro Slam, and it's an organization that's still in effect today. He doesn't run it anymore, but it's been, over 10 years that this organization is still running. So it's something that I'm very proud of, that my brother encouraged and influenced me, and he also created this institution that's still going to this day in San Antonio. Well, I've been focused on playwriting now for the past 2 years. I have the musical that's being produced in Austin and in San Antonio this summer, and then I'm also, that's called Carmen de la Calle, and it's an adaptation of the opera George Bizet's Carmen, set in San Antonio in 1989, the Carmen of the streets, Carmen de la Calle. And I have this other play that I have the outline, I've started the opening scenes, I'm hoping to have it finished by this summer. It's called The Miraculous Mixes of La DJ Santa Cecilia, and it's set in, I'm retro, that one's set in 1995 in Los Angeles, about this DJ who disappears, and there's I don't want to give too much away, but there's whispers that she was either deported or she was abducted by aliens. And so that's going to be, I'm so linked to music. It's going to have a DJ in it, so it's going to have music. So that's the next project I'm working on. But I'm really interested in playwriting now that also incorporates poetry.
Of the many professors we have on campus, CY Associate Professor of Criminal Justice, Susan Ritter, was selected for Professor of the Month.
Dr. Ritter, how many years have you been working at UTB?
I've been working here for 20 years.
And what courses do you teach?
I mainly teach criminal law, legal aspects of corrections, issues in corrections, and gangs.
What is the purpose of those courses?
The criminal law course, all criminal justice majors have to take that course. Corrections majors have to take legal aspects of corrections and seminar of issues in corrections. And most of my students go into some kind of probation work or working with juveniles, and so I created the gang class because I saw a need. I saw a need. My students kept making inquiries about this gang or that gang, and so I thought the best thing to do was to create a course and find out as much information on any and all of them that I could. It focuses on gangs in the United States. However, like in the classroom, when it's a lot of times I'll have a lot of school teachers in there as well, and so they want to know local matters. So I try to stay abreast of that. But nationally, I'm actually known for Mara Salvatrucha. I have traveled back and forth from El Salvador. I assist in asylum cases, and now, at one time there was only 3 or 4 people in the United States that had a handle on MS-13, and I was one of them.
Every week, the Collegian goes around campus and asks students what issues they have.
Here's what they had to say on What's Your Beef.
What issue do you have with campus right now?
I just feel that I'm really confused right now, and that the university hasn't provided us with enough information about the split. Like, we're unaware of what programs are going to stay and what they're not going to offer anymore, and I just feel like they should inform us more.
What issue do you have with campus right now?
Well, the transportation system here it's not that good. The buses take a long time, so I think they should have better system here.
What issue do you have with campus right now?
The security at night, because when I come in at night at 7 for my class, there's no security at all. I don't see any security, and every time I went off like at 10 p.m. from the class, there's like glass on the floor and stuff like that. So I think there should be more security at night than in the day.
Since last August, we introduced you to many clubs and organizations at UT Brownsville. Now we want to introduce you to our own club, the Student Media Club.
Here's what our co-members had to say on Club Spotlight.
Hi, my name is Christopher Peña. I am a photographer for the Collegian.
Hi, and my name's Samantha Reese, and I'm a reporter.
And as a photographer, it is my job to do both photos and videos. I also edit those photos and write cut lines.
I write stories, and I conduct interviews.
My name is Michelle Serrano. I do the cartoons and the graphics, and I'm also a staff writer here at the Collegian. I usually spend my time doing writing, but my favorite parts are actually the cartoons. And if you'll see, I save all my old ones because I love them so much. And I plan on putting them in a portfolio, so if anybody ever needs a cartoonist, here I am, award-winning cartoonist. I have nothing else to say. I like this job. I'm going to miss it.
My name is Moises Grimaldo. I work for UTB Radio with the Student Media Department. Here at the station, we provide students with music, the best music around campus. We also work with live remotes, which is that we do. We provide music in events for different departments. And it's a learning environment. It's a really great job. I enjoy being part of the Student Media Club and work for the Collegian and for UTB Radio as well.
My name is Rene Cardona, and I'm the president of the Student Media Club, and I'm also the editor for the Collegian. And our purpose as the Student Media Club is to inform students in a timely manner about what's going on campus and any news that matters as a student to UTB through the various venues that we have, which are UTB Radio, the Collegian, and the Collegian Online, and the Collegian News Webcast. Pretty much we work to meet those demands on a weekly and daily basis.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Oceda. I'm a reporter. I write stories for the Collegian, also for the Spanish section.
And I'm Valerie Secrease. I'm the sports editor and I write all the sports stories here at the Collegian.
Now we have sports editor Valerie Secrease with this week's Sports Roundup. Valerie?
Thank you, Marlene. This week on Sports Roundup, the UTB TSC baseball team season and program has come to an end after the Scorpions fell to Bacone College in an elimination game last Tuesday. Bacone College took the victory over the Scorpions 4-2. Here's the story. Sadly, the season ended earlier than expected for the UTB TSC baseball team last Tuesday in Shreveport, Louisiana, after they were defeated 4-2 in the Red River Athletic Conference tournament by the Bacone College Warriors. In the first game of the tournament, the Scorpions faced off against the Texas Wesleyan University Rams April 28th and proved to be successful after defeating the team 7-6. Outfielder Colby Hensey's 3-run home run in the third inning was the highlight of the game for the Scorpions. On April 29th, UTB TSC met Texas College on the diamond, where it came out on top in a dramatic win 10-9 after 10 innings. In the top of the ninth, the Scorpions were leading the game 9-5, but the Steers came back in the bottom of the ninth and scored 4 runs to tie the game, forcing the game to go into extra innings. But it was Cordia's sacrifice fly scoring Scott Frazier for the game-winning run in the 10th inning that promised the Scorpions another day in the tournament. After 2 days in Shreveport, the 2 undefeated teams in the tournament would meet on Pilot Field for an important game. UTB, TSC, and host Louisiana State University Shreveport battled on the field April 30th for a spot in the championship game May 1st, but it was LSU Shreveport that claimed the victory 11-5, earning the spot in the final game. Bacone College held off a bases-loaded rally in the bottom of the 9th inning of the elimination game to pull out a 4-2 victory over UTB TSC, ending its season. That's all I have for this week on Sports Roundup. Back to you, Melissa.
Thank you, Valerie. That wraps up our webcast and spring semester. Good luck on your finals, and thank you for joining us. I'm Melissa Ramirez.
And I'm Marlene Rodriguez. Have a great day and a great summer. We now leave you with photos of the Senior Art Exhibit 2.